It's been one whole year since the release of the Airpods Pro 2, so what better time to do a long-term review? I happen to have almost £250 in Apple trade-ins on a gift card, burning a hole in my digital pocket, but I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to spend it on. I didn't need a new computer, I don't use Apple Music as I can't stand the interface. I had no use for an Apple Watch just yet, and I had all the protective cases I needed for all of my gadgets, and I'd never buy them from Apple anyway as they're so overpriced. Then the new AirPods Pro 2 just seemed to call out to me. For a long time I just avoided wireless earbuds, as I thought they were overpriced and a bit awkward to put into your ears, that wired buds just sounded better overall, and that sooner or later I would be bound to lose one or both of them. Yes, I know you can get Apple Care against damage, etc., but I really don't like the excess fee you have to pay every time you claim. But in the end, all the talk about the new and improved sound quality and the souped-up active noise cancelling just made these buds sound too good to be true, even if they did cost £250. So I splashed the cash. Now I love the smart, sleek design of the AirPods case, but maybe it's too slick as it does have a tendency to slip out of your hand. To combat this, I picked up a really cheap rubber slipcase. And I also attached the lanyard it came with just in case. Now I did look at more expensive cases, but they all seemed to grip the case so tightly that I was worried I would never get them off when it came to resale or trade-in time. Some of them even came with adhesive pads that I think would have been a nightmare to remove and wreck the case altogether. When it comes to the most important element of how these things sound, after a year I have no complaints. I've gone from being a wireless earbud skeptic to a fully fledged convert, and I've used them pretty much every day since I bought them. Sound quality is superb, with the bass being strong but not overpowering. Mid-tones are rich and detailed, and the high-end sound is without distortion. And at £250 I should hope so, as it's the most I've spent on a pair of earbuds of any kind. After the sound, the active noise cancellation of these buds comes in as my second favourite feature. It's actually almost too good, especially when you're walking near busy roads. So to remain safe, I would seriously advise you to stay in transparency mode. But the noise cancelling mode really comes into its own when blocking out train or plane noise. I live in London and I was having a big issue with some of our screeching train tracks that we have on the London Underground, until I discovered the active noise cancelling of the AirPods Pro 2, and now I won't travel on a train without them. Next we have transparency mode, and Apple seem to do this better than anybody else. The outside world becomes audible to keep you safe or in contact with people around you, without having to take them out if you want to have a conversation. You can hear your own voice as clear as a bell when in transparency mode, making it great for conversations or phone calls. As I've said before, I'm not a big fan of touch controls on earbuds, and these are no exception. However, the big advantage of these being an Apple product is the fact that Siri Control works superbly well with them. I've actually been quite surprised by the amount of fine control that Siri is now capable of. For example, it recognises and executes commands such as raise the volume 10%, turn on transparency, turn on noise cancelling, skip track, stop music. In short, it was a bit of a revelation for me that Siri recognises all of the main commands that I personally need to make my listening experience hands-free from day to day. And that might be a compelling reason for lots of people to stay within the Apple ecosystem when it comes to earbuds. The same of course is true when it comes to the Find My app and the pinpoint location finding not only for the case but the individual buds. The case emits a beeping sound that is more than loud enough to aid in this, and so do the buds themselves, sounding a bit like chirping crickets, which should make all you Americans out there feel right at home. So overall, I've outlined why I'm really happy with the AirPods Pro 2 after 1 year. But now to the one large elephant in my sound-filled room. I actually had to return the first pair I purchased the same week because they simply weren't holding a charge, lasting 2 hours at the most. Now the good folks at Apple confirmed this and said that yes, I did have a defective pair and they replaced them like for like. This time the buds themselves held their advertised charge of 6 hours, but when it came to the case, I was getting nowhere near the 36 hours of promised standby time. Now in theory this means you should be able to recharge your AirPods 6 times without having to recharge the case. In reality, I'm still only getting around 2 charges from the case, which is 12 hours at the most, even though I turned off things like noise cancelling, which use a lot more battery. So back to the Apple store I went, and this time the nice people there ran what they call in Star Trek a level 3 diagnostic. They found no fault with the AirPods and told me that I just had to act like a battery Bluetooth saint, turning Bluetooth off on my phone whenever I wasn't using it, as the AirPods case would keep searching for a Bluetooth signal. Now if there is anybody out there who has succeeded in getting the up to 36 hours, then please share it with me and the rest of us, and exactly how you did it in the comments down below. I have to admit that 1 year on, this still does bother me, especially as I've paid £250 for these earbuds, and at that price I would expect to get somewhere near the up to advertised length of charge from the case. And finally, it's that price point that Apple might start to struggle with. Yes, there are buds from Bose and Sony with better noise cancelling and pretty much at the same price or even more, but in the space of the last year, a lot of other manufacturers have entered the market at a much lower price point, and they seem to be catching up fast in terms of technology and sound quality, and I've even reviewed some of them on this channel and been quite impressed. In the last month, the Airpods Pro 2 with USB-C instead of Lightning have been released, but is that enough of a belated change to worry the competition? But as usual, I'd like to know what you think. If you're an Apple user, is it worth the extra money just to stay in the Apple ecosystem when it comes to earbuds? Are you completely happy with your Airpods Pro 2 and the battery life when it comes to the case? Or has it been an issue for you as well? As usual, let me know in the comments down below, and if you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.